I need to go into this because, and then Judge, let me say what I got to say, and then I'm gonna come to you. Keep Beyonce name out your MFing mouth, Trump. Please don't try to come for Beyonce. Don't try to come for the beehive because you will get slaughtered. You will get slaughtered. Leave this woman alone. She has helped the economy in every single city that she touched down this summer during Cowboy Carter tour. Carter tour ended this Sunday in Las Vegas. She increased their economy by over 5%, hiring jobs, having letting people make money. But she does that in every single city. But all of a sudden, Trump has time today to go on Truth Social to talk mess about Beyonce. I don't give a damn about Oprah. I don't give a damn about Kamala. I don't give a damn about Al Sharpton. Keep Beyonce name out your mouth. So this is what he posted on Truth Social. He says, I'm looking at the large amount of money owed by the Democrats after the presidential election. And the fact that they admit to paying probably illegally $11 million to singer Beyonce for an endorsement. She never sang not one note and left the stage to a booing and angry audience. $3 million for expensive to Oprah, $600,000 to very low rated TV anchor Al Sharpton, a total lightweight, and others to be named for doing absolutely nothing. These ridiculous fees were incorrectly stated in the books and records. You are not allowed to pay for an endorsement. It is totally illegal to do so. Can you imagine what would happen if politicians started paying for people to endorse them? All hell would break out. Kamala and all of those that received endorsement money broke the law. They should all be prosecuted. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Well, let me bring this to your attention. If you try to send Beyonce any type of prosecution legal papers, when you talk about a resurrection, whatever courthouse this may go to, oh, it's going to be one there. Keep her name out your mouth. You're putting her life in danger because he is the president, and you got fanatic MAGA people that's going to try to put a target on her. And she did not do anything wrong. However, you know why he's upset? Because this is the same person Beyonce sent his ass a cease and desist last year because he wanted to use her track Freedom off of Lemonade for his presidential campaign without her permission. He did use it without her permission. Her legal people sent him a cease and desist, tell him knock it the F off. She let Kamala Harris use that song, and she made millions off that. So Kamala didn't have to pay her millions to endorse her. She didn't get paid anything, but she did get paid to let Kamala use her song. That's where the millions come from. The same millions that your ass would have paid for if she would have gave you permission, but she sent your ass a cease and desist. So I think he needs to slow it the fuck down, keep Beyonce name all out of his mouth because he don't want the heat from the beehive. You want to say something, Judge?
The law is the law. What you read is a correct statement of the law. And if it was for purposes of use of the song, it should have been reported as such. It was not. So it's not my position that anyone is above the law.
No. What using somebody's music is not part of campaign. It's not part of. It's not endorsing them. So
Yes, it is. She endorsed him. You played it on the show one time where she got up and did that, endorsed Kamala. And under the law, I wondered about it at the time. I said, you know, if Kamala doesn't win, somebody's going to prosecute whoever is involved, including appropriately the Democratic Party, for campaign violations. You cannot do that. That is, by the definitions and the applicable law, being paid to endorse.
but she was not.
Now, Well, that's, will the grand jury find probable cause or not? That's the thing, and they can pursue it in any grand jury in the country that is federal, and I think there are a few thousand of those.
She
Well, let's put
never
not maybe a
Beyonce
few
never
thousand,
received
but
Beyonce management, Beyonce production company, Beyonce herself never received money from Kamala Harris to endorse.
well, it's from the Democratic Party. But
No,
anyway,
he never
that's
received
allegations from the
money to
well, it's
endorse.
not,
He
you know,
is accusing that.
I
He's
don't
accusing
care
her of doing that.
one way or another. There are 10 judicial circuits, and the minimum number of federal judges districts in those, I think, is about two per, no, not two, 10 times, that's at least, that's more than 100 districts wherein grand juries can be convened to investigate whether or not there is a commission of a federal crime. So if some enterprising U.S. attorney convenes a grand jury and makes a presentation sufficient to establish probable cause, and you heard this last week, which is not beyond a reasonable doubt, it's just more likely than not, then she's got same kind of situation Diddy does. She will not for the
Yeah,
same charge, but
yeah,
she'll have to
you
stand
going way
charged.
down that yellow brick road because he actually paid the Village people to use their song, but he did it. But that's what you're supposed to do if you're going to use people music. Kid Rock got up there and endorsed him. Did Kid Rock?
Yeah, but he didn't get paid for it.
And neither did Beyonce.
Well, the problem is they didn't report it as the use of royalties, which if it was a
How do you
royalty,
know? How do you know?
it's that's what the problem is.
No, that's not. No, 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 no,
Look, it's
no. He's
public
not
record.
accusing her about the music.
Look, it's that's
He's
what.
accusing her about
No, that's
endorsing.
not. You miss a point. If it had been for the music, it would have been okay, but it was not reported as a royalty payment.
How do you
So
know?
there, it's public record. If you want to find
Exactly.
that,
No,
look,
it's
look,
not. No, 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 no.
look.
The
Excuse me. If you
FCC,
want to find out,
no, no, no. This is, I went through the records, the FCC election records of how much money went out. There, Kamala Harris spent $1 billion, and it lists all of the people who got money from her campaign. Oprah, Al Sharpton, Beyonce was not on that list. Her production company was not on that list. When you are using somebody's music, when you were using somebody's music, that you have to pay the record company for those rights, not
you want to
directly.
find out, just go to the public records, or you can go to
Go to the
followthemoney.org
public
and
records and
see
you
who
won't see
contributed
Beyonce
what to
there.
who and what reported was reported. Now, that's simple enough. We're arguing over something that can be only resolved by looking it up. If one of the members of the current Department of Justice, one of the appointed U.S. attorneys in one of the various and sundry districts in the United States decides to present it to a grand jury and probable cause is returned, she'll have to stand trial.
Yeah. And so if she stands trial and then it comes out that this man lied, then she's going to come after his ass
She
like she
can't.
said.
He's
Yes, she
immune.
can.
He's
Oh,
immune.
oh, no, but
Absolutely
she's not
immune.
going to be immune forever.
If she can't come after him
Yes, she
afterwards.
can. Yes, she can.
Y'all, look. The
Yes, she can.
bottom line is if a grand jury indicts, that removes the whole trail record for false arrest because the charges are brought by the independent and immune grand jury, so you can't touch anybody. If he asks his Justice Department to make a presentation to a local grand jury or in a given district, and the grand jury returns, nobody's liable, and you can't find the grand jury and liable. They are immune.
Yeah, and so now you can mute up for a second because here's the thing. See, this snippet here is my commentary. No, wait. Because you want to throw Beyonce name in it. Again, I don't care about the Al Sharptons. I don't care about the Kamala Harris or the Oprahs. Deal with them. But when you're dealing with Beyonce and she has the Beehive, and Beehive is made up of independents, Democrat, Republicans, and whoever else, don't come for Beyonce because your reputation is going to be tarnished. This is a distraction because everybody's asking him about Epstein. He's all the way in Scotland being asked about Epstein. You want to put out the MLK files last year that nobody cares about. Nobody even cares about this. But because
Why wouldn't you care more about the MLK situation since it was a government sponsored
why would I
assassination?
or why would I not?
Well, why wouldn't you be more concerned since the government being in the business of, say, the former Soviet government or the Chinese government to assassinate its citizens? That should be much more
Well, you
concerned.
said we should not.
Beyonce is irrelevant.
You said we should not, and I have
I
that on
said
tape.
we should be
No,
more
you said
concerned.
we did the show last week,
I
Judge.
know, but I said on the show, I said people should be more concerned. Well, I implied
No, you didn't say
people
that.
should be more concerned about a governmental entity engaging in the assassination of American citizens. That's important.
But you
That's
didn't
what
say
it's
that.
all about.
You didn't say that.
I did. I
Okay.
never
Well,
said that
actually,
what happened.
I'm
What
premiering
I
that clip
said was
tonight.
you'll never know who did it, but you can know the whys and wherefores behind it. The
Yes.
report that they released, not one shred of that report has any inference on who did it or goes anywhere outside of the narrative that James Earl Ray did it, except some whack job speculation.
So
I mean,
again,
it doesn't say
keep
anything one way
Beyonce,
or the other.
keep Beyonce name
What
out.
makes her so
Keep.
important that she's
I
more
said, listen.
important than?
Let me. I'm about to mute you. I said this is my commentary.
Okay, all right,
Thank you.
now,
Keep Beyonce
okay.
name. This is for Trump. Keep Beyonce name out your mouth. You do not want it with the Beehive. You don't. And listen, Beyonce probably not going. She's not going to even respond to him because it makes no sense, and he is irrelevant in our world.
He's
So
not irrelevant, and
I said this
everybody
is
else
my
in the world
commentary.
is
If you
dangerous.
want to talk about Trump, you can talk about Trump on somebody else's show. He's irrelevant in our world, the world of the Beehive, the world of Beyonce. Keep her name out your mouth because your reputation is already kind of being dragged and sullied. Your brand with this Epstein. So now you want heat from the Beehive, which is going to put more heat on the Epstein. Leave Beyonce off of anything that you want to insinuate with the Democrat Party. Just stop. Just stop.
I don't recall her having.
All right, Judge, I'm about to move on to the next topic because I already said, like, I don't need you to finish the commentary. You want to stick up for Trump, that's your business. But right about now, yes, this is my commentary when it comes to Beyonce. This is my thing. You said what you had to say. You said what you had to say. All right. So what was the next thing I want to get into? Speaking of this report.
By the way, I do think they need to get Al Sharpton and the rest of the bunch there, Oprah too, for taking what is essentially a bribe to give an endorsement.
Well,
And
that's
as
what I
he
want to play
said, he's a
here.
second-rate news. Is he a news anchor? I never